Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about your project. In this week's learning module, you have a folder titled Understanding Your Heart Project Information. You are doing the project titled Understanding Your Heart. Every year I get students who submit some project they just made up. So right now I'm telling you, your project is Understanding Your Heart. I will show you that sheet. It's due by December 4th, worth 60 points, and it does count as a test grade. So the first thing when you get into that folder, if you click on Understanding Your Heart Project, and again, it gives you that information. I'm going to go ahead and download the original file, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to first talk about the project. This is the project that you're doing. So you're going to use the formula C equals V times R. So C is your cardiac output, V is the stroke volume, and R is the heart rate. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to figure out what your heart rate is. How many beats do you have in 1 minute? So you're going to sit quietly, have someone take your pulse, or you can do it yourself by putting 2 fingers up on your neck, finding your pulse and timing it for 1 minute. Now it tells you right here in this opening paragraph that you're going to use 85 milliliters for V, which is the stroke volume. So you find your heart rate, and you're gonna type your project, and you're gonna say, okay, so here's how I calculated my heart rate. I did it myself, or my friend sat down, da 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 da. You're gonna explain how you did it and how many beats per minute you have. Then you're going to use the equation C equals V times R. So you're calculating your R in number 1. It gives you your V in the opening paragraph. So, again, you're going to explain that. You're just not going to tell me C equals V times R, plug in the numbers and give me the answer. You're going to explain how you did that. If you are working it out and you want to put an image in your paper, I encourage you to do a Word document or a PDF, convert it to a PDF, whatever you want. But it has to be typed. So you could put images of your work showing me the multiplication or the division or however you're calculating it. Number 3, there's a table here. So I encourage you to create a table. I don't want you to use this document. I want you to create a document. And again, your project needs a standalone. I shouldn't even have to look at this paper to know what's going on. That's why I'm saying you need to explain everything. You need to over-explain it. So here, again, it's giving you the V and the R. So you're going to calculate C, and you're going to explain it. You're going to give the answers. You're going to show your work. Number 4, what is your cardiac output if your heart rate is 75 beats a minute, 60, 100? So again, you're calculating C, and it's giving you different heart rates. Number 5, this is some critical thinking here. So you're going to think about this. If you need to do some research, go ahead and do some research. Google it. If you get any information from any articles, websites, you need to make sure you do a citation. And then number 6 is giving you different situations, asking you to do some calculations. Again, you're still using the C equals V times R in these, okay? And then 7, again, a calculation doing the cardiac output for a child. And then another situation with the calculations using the C equals V times R. And in this last one, you don't have to use 85 there. That should not be there. You're going to pick values for V anywhere from 70 to 120. And you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to use 85, you can't. You can, but you don't have to. I apologize. That should not be there. So that is the project. It's going to take some time and some effort, especially if you want a good test grade. So make sure you're not waiting until Sunday night, December 4th, and then freaking out because you haven't started it. All right, then we're going to go to project information. This just kind of reiterates a little bit of what I just talked about, giving you information about the expectations for the project. It is an individual effort. If you and another student hand in the same project, you will both receive 0s. And then here's a couple of sample projects They are not the understanding your heart rate. Just some examples of what makes a good project. So this one is insect in their ambient temperature. So the first question says they're explaining it. They had to put a bar or line graph in here. So look at the explanation in these. They're talking about the points they picked. They're talking about calculating the slope, step by step work, another graph. Again, more calculations on the slope, and then finding the point slope equation. So that's an example of a good project. Here's a second example. Again, these are not the understanding your heart project, different projects that have been done in the past. So this is a stock one. Again, it's talking about what they're doing, explaining it. They've got a graph in there. They put a table in. So those are the expectations. As I mentioned, it has to be typed. If you don't type it, you will lose points. And then the last thing is how I'm going to grade it. This is the grading rubric. And it shows you, it's a critical thinking math rubric. So there are 4 categories I'm going to be looking at. Correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Correct interpretation of the problem, tables and graphs, mathematical calculations, presentation of the solution. So each of those categories has 15 possible points. So I will use that to grade your project. Again, this is an individual effort. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Thank you.